Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very unique flashlight from Wuben. This is the X2. Special thanks to Wuben for the opportunity to check this light out today. So we're going to be talking about this flashlight, the features of it, what's included with it, the beam shots, and then I'll give you my own 2 cents, the pros and the cons of this flashlight as I see them at the end of the video as well. So if that sounds good, stick around. If you get value out of this video in any way, please do hit the like button for me. That helps the channel grow. Otherwise, let's get started. The X2 comes in this really nice box from Wuben with magnetic flaps. On top you're going to find a sleeve with your manual inside. They also include a really nice long lanyard slash USB-C to USB-C charging cable. Pretty cool. One of my favorite things included is this complimentary red diffuser, light diffuser. Love when flashlight companies include stuff like that. And here's a look at the X2 itself, which we'll go over in more detail of course in this video, but everything is included that you need to keep this light charged up and serviced throughout its life in a really nice box. And the whole thing feels like a tank. Very sturdy, a lot of weight to it, kind of like its older brother, the X1. It feels very heavy for its size, now still small. So it being smaller, the weight isn't as much of a factor, but definitely not light. Feels like it can be run over several times and take a lot of abuse other than damaging the finish. It just feels like this thing would survive really, really well. Yeah, here's a look at the tail. Looks like that gives us our milliamp hour capacity information on the battery, the voltage as well. Says do not disassemble. So built-in battery here. There's your lanyard attachment point right here. You've got some texture all around the light. It looks very futuristic to me. Here's a look at the LEDs and that orange peel reflector. 3 LEDs in there. Pretty cool. Another unique thing about this flashlight is the switch. It's operated by this pedal here. This blue pedal, you push it down, that's what turns the light on and off. The switch itself is under here, and it's kind of a rubberized white switch there, so you can just actuate that to turn the light on and off. And then these rare earth magnets hold this, I assume, stainless steel pedal down. Kind of has a good latch. Stays down like that, but cool design. There's your USB-C charging port as well. And then this little window, this translucent piece of plastic, an LED shines through that to give you your battery status. When charging, this will be red, and then when fully charged, it will be blue. So yeah, very unique design all around for this light. And here's a look at that clip. Really good retention on this clip. Really thick steel clip that's attached right here with these bolts up top. So very interesting light, and I believe tritium vials can be inset into these channels if you really want to trick this thing out. And speaking of style, this light comes in a variety of materials and finishes. Good on Wuben for doing that. I like when companies do that. Style points, they matter to me, to some more than others, but really cool looking flashlight, kind of a cyberpunk aesthetic to it, at least in my mind. Looks like it came from the future. But let's check out the user interface next. The user interface of the X2 kind of finds that sweet spot for me between complicated and simple. It's got the modes I look for, not too much extra. So basically, to operate the light, it's going to be pretty straightforward and intuitive if you know modern flashlights. A single press of the switch will turn it on, and then another single press will turn it off. From off, if you hold down the switch, you're going to get to the lowest output setting automatically. From off or on, double-clicking the switch brings you into a max output turbo. And then triple clicking from either off or on brings you into strobe. And then from strobe, if you triple click again, you're going to get into the SOS function. So it does have SOS if you like that as well. And then from there, once the light is on, if you hold down the switch, you're going to cycle through the different modes or gears as they're referred to in the manual. So that's going to get you low, medium, high, low, medium, high. And then you can obviously just stop at whatever output you want, and it'll just maintain that as well. So the X2 does have mode memory as well, so if you leave it sitting for a little while and pick it back up, turn it on, it's going to remember what last mode you were on in that cycle. So that's pretty cool. And then as far as the customization goes of the various modes, similar to the big brother, the X1, you can actually adjust your output on those 3 main modes to your liking. So let's do it to our low mode just as example. So got the low mode on. If you don't like the factory low or you want to adjust it a little bit, all you'll need to do is double press the pedal, but on the second press you're going to hold it. So click again and hold, and you can see that output's ramping up. It's going to blink when it reaches the upper limit right there, and then it's going to come back down and blink when it reaches the lower limit, and so on. So as you can see, it's just bouncing up and down between low and high. So what you can do is you can actually stop it at the output you prefer for that mode. And now, whenever you turn the light on, it's going to memorize that setting you had for your low mode. And you can do that on the medium and the high outputs as well. And if you don't like what you do and you want to factory reset the flashlight as well, that can be done from the lockout mode. And that process is outlined here in the manual. The manual, by the way, is really nice. I'm just going to flip through it. It looks like it's really big, but it's actually just a few pages, and the rest of it's just repeated in different languages. But yeah, got kind of what's included with it, your basic user interface schematic right there, your specifications. I'll pause if you want to read those, or you can pause if you want to read those, I should say. Then yeah, here's the operation and that factory resetting process as well. So pretty cool to have that little customization ability with this flashlight, but that's really all there is to it, to the user interface. Now let's test it out. Let's check out the beam profile first, and then we'll take you to the great outdoors for the beam shots. All right, we are really close to a wall, a blank wall, to check out the beam profile of the X2, which is very unique, much like the rest of the flashlight. As you can see, very rectangular beam profile coming from the X2. As we go up really close to the wall, you can see a lot of light goes in the center, and then you've kind of got that orangish tint, and then that's surrounded by kind of a bluish purplish tint, and then really good peripheral lighting as well that goes off on either side. And then there's a pretty defined cutoff on the top and the bottom of the beam as well. When you're using this practically at distance, it's really nice because a lot of light doesn't, get bounced back on what's near you on the ground. So you don't get like kind of washed out by that light, and then you don't lose a lot of output going up too high where you don't need it. Yet you still get really good peripheral. So very interesting beam profile on the X2 for sure. Beam shots. We are going to start on the low mode of the X1, which is 5 lumens, and this can run for 80 hours according to Wuben. Now I do have the light in its factory's configuration right now, so I haven't tampered with any of the modes, so just thought I'd put that out there. Here's medium. This is 100 lumens, and this can run for 10 hours on this output. Next up, we've got high, which is 400 lumens, and this can run for 2.5 hours on this output. And that beam profile really starting to become evident here. When I have the light pointed center, really illuminates the whole screen off to the sides, which is really cool. Here's turbo, max output 2500 lumens, and this eventually steps down to 800 lumens just to prevent the heat from getting too far out of control, but very impressive output. Can run for 1 minute and then another hour after it's stepped down. Strobe is coming up, so if you're sensitive to that, please look away. Here is the strobe, and it's a variable rate of strobe, meaning that the cadence or the rate of the flicker varies over time. All right, we made it to the end of the video, and if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You are statistically some of the few that make it to the end of long form content. These days our collective attention span is getting so short. But if you have made it this far, thank you so much. Before I tell you my pros and cons about the X2 as far as I see them, I want to talk about 2 accessories that are included with it first, because I didn't give them enough time of day earlier. This is that red rubberized or silicone diffuser that's included with the X2. I really like it. It's got these little steps so that doesn't slide on too far. But yeah, basically turns it into a little area light, diffuses the light around, and gives it that nice reddish tint. Pretty interesting thing to have included from Wuben, so I'm a fan. I'd rather have a diffuser included than not. Now red is interesting and neat, but I would love to see just like a normal white one. So this could be used more of like a lantern perhaps. But in any case, I'm really glad they include that. I say more of that is very good in the flashlight world, in my opinion. That's my favorite accessory included. A close second is this lanyard / charging cable, and it's very long, as you can see. And on the inside of it, you have a little bit of a measuring tape functionality too. And then if you pinch these tabs on either side, that'll access your USB-A to USB-C charging cable. So really unique design. And then the other end of this just has a lobster clasp and loop as a lanyard attachment. So I think Wuben's the only one doing this sort of thing. Pretty unique and innovative. So it's got a thumbs up from me. As far as the X2 itself, the pros of it, I really like the beam profile. Like I said, not a lot of light is lost. You get a very wide angle of, you know, floody peripheral light, and then most of the light goes directly forward. So you are able to search out just a little bit with it, but in general, I really like the beam profile. The shape and form factor, pretty unique as well, flat. For that reason, this thing carries pretty well in a fifth pocket of your jeans. And if you don't know what the fifth pocket of your jeans is, it's that pocket right above your right pocket, kind of inside your right pocket, that little rectangular pocket that no one uses. This thing tucks in there, at least on my jeans, really well. It's a good spot for it. And then, you know, the way the clip is designed, enough sticks above that you can easily pull it out and use it. So that's how I'd recommend carrying this if you do so on the daily. But yeah, in any case, really unique. A lot of interesting design choices, and they pull it off really well. The build quality is evidently very high. You sense that immediately upon picking it up. Everything is really tightly fitted, and the finish looks great as well. So that's going to be a definite pro for me on this. And then obviously the output, the level of output you're able to get from something this size, very impressive as well. Things I don't care for as much, number one is going to be the built-in battery. Now, a lot of people, they're going to get different lights throughout the course of their life anyway, so the built-in battery is not a big deal, but I still would love the idea or the option to change these out. Whatever type of built-in batteries in here, it's just got to stay. And so over time, that'll probably be the point of failure. The X2 does have a 1-year warranty though from Wuben, which is pretty good to see. And then as far as that, I'd say the weight would be the second con. It is, you know, on the one hand, you get the sturdiness and the durability from that extra material, but on the other hand, it is a kind of a chunky light. But that's kind of my thoughts on this light. I hope this video gave you a good look at it. If there's something I left out, or if you have additional questions, please put them in the comments for me below. Do you have an X2? Do you like it? What's your experience been like? Please share it with the community. But otherwise, I really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.